MCWhorter Custom Rifles presents
This week we're heading to the mountains of West Texas to hunt big Aoudad sheep. We've got MCWhorter's very own Allan Rovig, Wounded Warrior Keith Hall, and Barbour Creek's Mark and Ellie Simpson.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by MCWhorter Custom Rifles, Macmillan Fiberglass Stocks, Swarovski Optique, and Barbour Creek Shooting Academy.
West Texas mountains, Aoudad sheep, this is a real deal. These mountains are rough and tough, and this is a real sheep hunt. This ranch sits right on the Mexico border and really steep rim rock country, and these sheep just absolutely love it. There's more sheep on this ranch than there is anything else. A few mule deer, and a few cows because they can't run very many because there's not much grass, but lots of sheep and some very big sheep. We've been doing hunts down here in this area for about the last 15 years, and it's a hunt that I always look forward to. Can't wait to get down there. There's really big sheep in this country. Very steep, very rugged. A lot of people come down there unprepared, but this is a mountain sheep hunt. You know, you need to be ready to do some hiking, and it's rough country. One of the most enjoyable things about this hunt is the camp life. Although we're out here in the middle of nowhere, we still have all the comforts of home here at the headquarters. We got Wi-Fi and we got some really good home-cooked meals. On this hunt, we got Allan Rovig of MCWhorter Custom Rifles, Mark and Ellie Simpson of Barbour Creek, and a special guest, a Wounded Warrior, Keith Hall, that was invited out here on this ranch to come and hunt.
My role in service, I was an 11 Bravo, which is an infantryman. I don't know how else to put it any more than that. And then to close with the enemy and destroy the enemy and get out without getting, killed. Extended my hunting's been pretty much all over the U.S. With some of my Army buddies retired, hunting elk, mule deer and stuff in Idaho. But for the most part, it's been the whitetails, anywhere from the mountains of West Virginia all the way down to southern Georgia and Alabama. I didn't even know what an Aoudad was until Allan had invited me onto this trip. I never even thought about doing sheep hunting or anything. Nothing really got through my head until we hit Van Horn and turned off of the paved road on the dirt road, and I started seeing the mountains and stuff. And with my injuries, which we're not going to get into how much that is, but with my injuries, I started really thinking about, was I going to be able to push through and get up to the top of a mountain for one of these sheep? And I definitely made sure that my willpower pushed me through to climb up when it was necessary.
So first things first, after everybody gets into camp, we're going to go check the rifles on the range. And this time we're going to shoot some rocks at a long ways off.
Let me find a rock that's out there that I want to hit. There's a rock at 463, okay. So I'm going to hit it and call it a day. Safety works. All right.
Trying to find my rock I picked out. There it is, I think. This is a PRC. It's shooting a 156. I thought 30-30, but about 30-50.
Yeah, it's gonna be about 30-50, 30-60.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Let's try it out. If it don't work, we've always got that as a plan B, right?
6 of one, half dozen of the other. Either way, you're gonna have opportunity to achieve.
That's what I like, professional decisiveness.
That's what we're all about here. Professional decisive.
My name's Keith, and I'm from Barbour Creek Shooting Academy. I'm out here with Allan and Larry from Precision Hunting TV. Got invited out here. I got to know them through them coming through the course, and they invited me out here for a wounded warrior hunt for an Aoudad out here in Southwest Texas.
First up, we got Keith Hall, wounded warrior that we invited out here, and you know, he's been there and done it. So, you know, a lot of people don't show our troops a gratitude, and this is really the least that we can do to show him our gratitude for his service.
So they're left of the big brown patch there at the top, huh?
So the first morning out, the guys go out, start glassing, and it isn't long, they find a band of sheep.
The rock slide coming down this way, then you got one coming that way, and he's about 3/4 towards the one on the left.
They're a little over a mile away and decide to make a stalk.
I mean, we wouldn't have a problem shooting from that knob right there.
Okay.
Pretty easy.
They get into position, cross a valley, and get to within about 1,000 yards of these sheep.
This segment of Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by Revolution Safe Company, inspired by Pendleton, rotating gun management made simple.
So the first morning out, the guys go out, start glassing, and it isn't long, they find a band of sheep.
3/4 towards the one on the left.
They're a little over a mile away and decide to make a stalk.
I mean, we wouldn't have a problem shooting from that knob right there.
Okay.
Pretty easy.
They get into position, cross a valley, and get to within about 1,000 yards of these sheep. So Keith gets set up, ranges the sheep 938 yards. That sounds like a long ways, and it is a long ways, but Keith shoots every day. This is what he does. This is his world.
I see rock slide here. The dark brown right there, rock slide above this.
Yep.
Okay.
Just
Left of that.
We actually we lucked out a lot. It was early morning, so therefore the wind hadn't picked up. We spotted them probably about 1,400, 1,500 yards away. That's a little bit outside of the retained velocity for my 6.5 Creedmoor. I knew at this station pressure and altitude that I needed to be within about 1,075 to make an ethical shot.
What was it, Keith?
I got 938 is what I had. All right, it'll be 23 minutes. Reacquired him with my rifle at that point in time and read the wind, saw it was only at a 4-mile-an-hour angle at 50%. So 2 miles an hour, that'll be a minute left. So at that distance, that's only a quarter a minute at most, you know, with spin drift taken into account.
Luck, it was a little high, but he's going to go down. I can tell by the way he's running.
Checks the wind, dials it in, and makes the shot.
So whenever I let the bullet go, saw the impact high shoulder, kept the animal in my sights during that time. Whenever I saw that he was behind a bush, I went ahead and reloaded and got ready for another round if it was needed.
He's down, good shot.
But after he came out from that bush, he made it about 5 yards and fell over.
Good shot. He's going down. He's going down. Good shot.
That's too easy.
Good shot, man.
So Keith makes a perfect 938-yard shot across this big canyon up the mountain. The only problem is now the work begins. They're gonna have to go down the mountain and back up the mountain, which is gonna be hard enough for anyone, let alone someone that's been through what Keith's been through. So here we go.
Yeah, it was some of the most sturdy ground I've ever stood on during an earthquake. It was actually pretty good.
Ooh, this short side's 29 and 5/8.
Oh, I was totally elated and happy and having a good time. I mean, like, it was really a rewarding experience in my lifetime, I'm telling you.
That one over there is over 30 for sure. Oh, that sucker's 30, 31. Well, here we are on the side of this really rocky, steep hill where Keith decided to shoot this giant Aoudad. I mean, a 31-incher and 6.5 Creedmoor, 140 grain burger going about 29 what?
29-18.
Perfect high shoulder shot. Sheep ran 30, 40 yards. He's laying at less than 40 yards from where he shot him, and just a great trophy. And took us about an hour to get up here. That's how rugged this area is right here. So
I think you're being really generous on the hour with me. It's probably about 2 hours.
That's right. That's right. This is actually the next day.
Yes.
You're right. So you made a great shot, man. You called the wind perfect, dialed everything up, and just did a great job.
And once again, I just can't say thank you enough on this one, and I'm glad I got to come along on this one. This is absolutely fantastic. Well, hopefully based on what you saw me do at 938 yards with my confidence in taking that shot, and from what I've learned from Barbour Creek, it'll inspire you to also want to come to the long range shooting school and do a hunt with us as well.
For the next several days, we looked hard. We glassed hard. We covered a ton of country looking for Allan, a big ram. But for whatever reason, every stalk we made, the wind might change. For whatever reason, we could not get it done. And finally, the 5th morning, we found a big ram in a good spot for a stalk.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Extreme Wildlife Adventures, Hoff Power Auto and Outdoor Stores, SurgePro by BioFact Crop Care, and Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue.
Hey, James at Barbour Creek Long Range Shooting School. We're going to talk about ballistic rangefinders and what we use for long range hunting. We run the SIG Kilo 2400. There are other ballistic rangefinders out there. The reason we use this one is it does Coriolis, both horizontal and what's called vertical EOTOVIS, and then it actually does spin drift and it does aerodynamic jump, which is crosswinds across the bullet. It will give you your wind calls. It does angles. It reads basically density, altitude, so station pressure, temperature, altitude. It calculates everything and gives you a shoot to. They're really, really smart ballistic rangefinders. So I'm gonna go ahead, and what I'm gonna do is we're gonna start at about 1,000 yards. It's 998 yards. We got an elk out there. And I'm gonna range a target, and it's going to give me the dial up, and I'm gonna tell Allan what it is, and he's gonna shoot that elk. And then we're gonna walk our way back to about 400 yards. So we're gonna start at 988. It's also gonna give me my wind. Now when I say that, I told the rangefinder, I physically went inside of it and said it's a 3 o'clock, 3 mile an hour wind, so that's how it's giving me my wind holds. We did true it, we did the ballistics inside of this, so everything is preset and ready to go. And once you get one of these, if you decide to get one and you get a good long range hunting rifle, you can program your gun in here. It'll hold 4 guns inside of it, or 4 bullets. All right, here we go, so stand by, we're jumping right up to the elk. All right, Allan, we have an elk at 998 yards. You have dial ups of 24.82. And you have 1 minute of right wind.
In the kill zone, he did.
All right, next we have a black bear at 926 yards, 21 3/4, and 0.9 on your wind, so basically around a minute. Dead bear. Going to a ram. So we've got Ram at 728 yards, and it says 14.5 on elevation and half a minute of wind. Half a minute of wind. Dead ram. Okay. All right, from the ram, we are going to the antelope in the middle of the road. 442 yards, 6 1/4 elevation, and half on wind, 0.4 on wind, so a little under half. Dead goat. All right, as you can see, we just shot animals all the way from 998 yards to 442 yards, one-shot kill. We let the ballistic rangefinder calculate basically station pressure, temperature, altitude. The angle was mild. We went basically from a 1 degree to a 3 degree, but this does have an angle inclinometer. It calculates it. One thing I will say about these rangefinders is they're great, but everything has a flaw. They take almost 6 minutes to acclimate. So what you don't want to do is jump out of an air-conditioned truck and you're in 100-degree weather and all of a sudden you range an animal and shoot it. You're going to get bad data because of the temperature change. So let it acclimate for about 6 minutes. In other words, I like to keep it in the backpack on the outside of my pocket of my backpack in the back of the vehicle where it's not in a temperature change. But if you don't have that option, if you jump out of the vehicle, it's going to take you 3 to 4 minutes to get set up anyway, so just kind of let this thing acclimate. Realize it does take 6 minutes to acclimate. Because again, you can get a bad shot because of temperature difference. You know, 20, 30 degree temperature change is going to be a difference at longer ranges. Hey, that's another downrange shooting tip from James at Barbour Creek. Thanks for joining us.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Borton Accuracy, Trigger Tech, BRUX Barrels, Capstone Precision Group, Hawkins Precision, and Revolution Safe Company.
So we finally got this big ram spotted. We have to cross a couple of pretty deep ravines to get to where we could to get in position for a shot. There's really not any way of us getting any closer without breaking out in the wide open. We range the ram. He's 896 yards. There's a big, nice flat rock there for Allan to get prone on, and this is where it's going to happen.
I got him, you on it?
So the shot's good.
Couldn't tell, kind of came off the gun a little bit, but it looked like we hit him pretty good. It had a 1.5 minutes left wind. He was 896.
Allan makes a good 896 yard shot. Ram didn't go far. But unfortunately for us, now it's our turn to hike up the mountain. Allan's shooting a 6.5 PRC and shooting 135 grain burgers, which is a perfect cartridge and bullet combination for these sheep. Mark and Ellie Simpson with Barbour Creek showed up a few days later and we hit the ground running. These rams were in a real good position to make a stalk on. They were up on a side slope and there was a dry creek bottom that was pretty brushy down in the bottom. We were able to get in that dry creek bottom, work our way down and close the distance in half. Find a nice flat spot for Ellie to set up, and it's game time.
Do the furthest one to the right?
Furthest one to the right.
628. 10.5 out, 10.5.
Mark's on the rangefinder, helping her get all dialed in. The shot's over 600 yards. Ellie settles in behind the gun to get ready to make the shot.
You on him, babe?
I am.
All right, load your bipod. Right up the shoulder.
Whenever you're ready.
Whenever you're ready.
Put another one in. Yep. Is he down?
He's down.
Hoorah! 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 Way to go. Oh, great shot, El.
Everybody's excited, high fives all around.
All right, that's with the newest rifle that we just built. And Allan, our buddy at MCWhorter, put it all together for us. And it is just stinking awesome.
Now it's time to go put our hands on Ellie's first ram.
Ellie, it's your first all dead, girl. Way to go, 628 yards with a 6.5 PRC, all right? And you made a great shot.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really liked it. We're out in West Texas, and this is about as far west as you can get.
You know, this is one of our favorite hunts of the year. We can't wait to come back and do it next year. If you'd like more information on this hunt, contact us at EWAHunting.com.